So Karissa, how did you feel as the client?
Uncomfortable. That's why I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna get a popsicle.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it felt real. Alexa, stop. It felt real.
Yeah. So what like tone, pitch, body language, what what did you think?
I felt like I was looking down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't comfortable expressing something so vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
But it also was like cool how we did it virtual, instead of feeling like I was in a room right after I tried to harm myself.
Right. Right. So I guess for me, so if we just go into clinical implications, obviously this client um, would, for me, need some level of probably clinical care because I personally don't feel like they would be safe to go home.
Yeah,
Because for me, I feel like it was an interrupted attempt. Because just because she said that she was hearing herself say get help, she wasn't making any active attempt to get help. It was her friend that coaxed her into getting the help.
oh yeah,
it was that phone call that interrupted the attempt.
oh yeah.
So to me, it was an interrupted attempt.
Yeah, that's actually a
I
really
don't
good
know.
observation.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Could it be like a half self-interrupted attempt or I don't I don't know.
Yeah.
But I still feel like, because that and the fact that the client expressed that they didn't feel safe going home because their biggest trigger was being lonely, that they would need further help. So,
yeah, I'm glad that you guys offered me to stay longer in the receiving center.
so what do you think, Jen?
I think we did a really good job. I think that felt real. And, that it definitely puts into perspective, that you have to be well trained to do this right, and to make sure that you do no harm, and that you cover your assets, and that you have the FDS in the forefront, of your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this could be an emergency situation where, and like it was for the client, there's important.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely am excited to see the rest of the teams because it was a struggle for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And, so going over the safety plan, obviously, talking about triggers, um, talking about what makes the client relaxed or distracted, their favorite food, their support persons.
It was kind of cool though too, because my favorite food is popsicles too. Because
Yeah.
I love the coldness and it's almost like a harm reduction for self-harm because my whole mouth gets like so cold and it's just
Right.
calm.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, we're up to 5 minutes.
And
Does
I
anyone
do,
else want to add?
and I did notice like one other thing is that like the client said their kids weren't there. So obviously the client would be like a single parent. So that client would then need to address further, like obviously they are going to have to be spending time alone in the future. So that client would then have to like further prepare themselves for future times, extended periods where they're spending time alone.
Yeah.
So
That's what the care plan is for.
yeah, the care plan, that's what I'm saying, like having to
Yep.
really figure out like how to, help them overcome that and find coping skills and,
And
go to
follow up like we
therapy.
talked about as well, and resources and stuff like that too.
Yep. Definitely get them a follow up. So yeah,
Yep.
for sure. All right. Okay. Stop the recording.